One in the chat if you can hear me. Push one in the chat if you can hear me. All right. Um, I guess I'm not getting on. Hold on 1 second. Okay, please hit the like when you come in here. Okay, I give people. We're getting ready to talk some football right now. Push one in the chat if you can hear me, please. Push one in the chat. Hit the like when you come in here. Please, I need to know if y'all can hear me, please. Okay. No, you can hear me, Brown Sugar. Anybody else that I gotta know, man. I'm just making sure y'all can hear me okay. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the Cowboys for a brief second. Now, shout out to the whole entire Lions Den basketball and boxing communities. In this case, we're talking a little bit NFL right now. In particular, we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the reason why I brought up the Dallas Cowboys is because they are having a debacle right now. Now, one is that both Micah Parsons and CD Lamb did not show up for OTA minicamp walkthrough. Okay, and there are some people that feel like that's a slap in the face, including some of the coaches and stuff. But there has been a lot of talk, with some of the former football players. I know Keyshawn Johnson had mentioned it. Um, a couple of other people have mentioned it too. That all you're really gonna do is, you're gonna meet your coaches, and you're gonna meet some of your new teammates and everything. You're gonna go through your walkthroughs and stuff like that. It's not anything serious, and a lot of the players don't really see it as serious. What they want to do is they want to go ahead and negotiate, this contract. And the biggest, the biggest things that they have to get in order right now are the trio. Well, really, is the trio of the four. I guess you could call them the four horsemen, if you will. I didn't include Diggs because we're not talking about him. But when you think of the four main players on the Dallas Cowboys, you think of Dak Prescott, you think of Micah Parsons, you think of CeeDee Lamb, and you think of Diggs. Um, all of them were Pro Bowlers. Now, here's the thing, okay? Uh, we all know that the Dallas Cowboys, they have a salary cap of 250 million. Okay, they have a salary cap of 250 million. A lot of people are wanting to know what the priority should be for the Cowboys in terms of the contract. Okay, what's up, Ted? I see you in here, man. This is my opinion, just from looking at the Cowboys and seeing what they went through, and also from being around here and talking to a lot of people, and gathering, their opinions on everything. Although everybody you had a lot of people saying they should get rid of Dak. It's Dak's fault. Dak this and Dak that. Dak is my number one. Okay, that's the number one priority. Okay, and let me tell you why. All right, there's a couple other quarterbacks who got paid their money, but they actually didn't even play nowhere near as good as Dak Prescott did. Dak Prescott's overall QB rating was one of the highest in the league this season. He had a QBR of 105.9. Okay. Then on top of that, Joe Burrow, who is the highest paid quarterback right now, if I'm not mistaken, and then it's a few others, and not even Patrick Mahomes even gets paid as much as some of those quarterbacks or whatever. All right, I think Patrick Mahomes only gets like 45 million. Dak Prescott should be in the range of that 50 million plus. I agree with some of the talking heads that were talking about that today, and this is why. A couple of the quarterbacks that they have ranked above Dak Prescott, which were Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Matt Stafford, and I think Jared Goff, if I'm not mistaken, or whatever. Dak actually had a higher percentage than all of them. He had a 69.4 percentage than the quarterbacks that I just listed. And on top of that, in terms of yardage, Dak Prescott almost threw for 5,000 yards, y'all. He threw for 4,900 and some odd yards. And on top of that, of the three quarterbacks that I listed, all of them with the exception of Lamar Jackson, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, because Lamar Jackson had 8 interceptions, okay? Patrick Mahomes, he had like 15, he threw like 15, 16 interceptions. Josh Allen had like 18 interceptions, and Jerry Goff had like, I think he had like 15 interceptions, and there was somebody that had 11 interceptions. Dak Prescott only threw 11 interceptions. Okay, so if we're looking at it like that, Lamar Jackson, he had the argument, of course, of being the number one up until the playoffs and everything. You paid Dak that money because Dak was playing shorthanded, and I stand on that. And on top of that, that is your quarterback or whatever. If you take Dak off of that roster and you let him walk or you don't pay him the money, guess what? You're going to have to start everything over. Okay? And on top of that, a lot of what went on, they want to sit up here and they want to say, oh, Dak was awful. Dak was this, Dak was that. Dak wasn't awful against Green Bay. Matter of fact, if anything, we need to criticize the defense. Okay, that was a lot. Overall, it's a team thing, but that had not a lot to do with that. You said I wouldn't overpay CD. You get it done. Dak not that dude. Ted, you ain't lying. He can't get it done. I wish Michael Vick would come back out of retirement. Dak stat pad. No, he doesn't. That's cap, Ted. No, he doesn't. Check this out. That's cap. First off, they had 3 offensive linemen. You keep saying that Dak can't get it done. If Dak wasn't able to get it done, then how come he was able to come back and actually play and lead his team to the playoffs off of an injury, the same type of injury that ODB, that Odell Beckham Jr. had, and never, Odell Beckham Jr. isn't even the same anymore. He had the same type of injury. You know, where that leg went the opposite direction, and still was able to come back, and still able to lead his team to the playoffs. And was using that very next season to actually recover. Some people didn't even think he was going to walk again, much less even play. So that's number one. Number two, he's playing short-handed every single year. Okay, this year. Let's start with this year. Okay, and Brown Sugar, you're a Cowboys fan, so I'm pretty sure you know what's going on here. All right. Now, Diggs, he went out. That's your Pro Bowler at cornerback. Okay, that's going to make the defense work harder, i.e. Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons was having to work harder in the backfield because you couldn't rely on Van Der Esch, who just retired because he could never stay healthy. Then on top of that, he had 3 offensive linemen that were consistently hurt. And then on top of that, not to mention, you're talking about that Dak can't get it done. Let's talk about the coach, Mike McCarthy, who is horrible at play calling, and he can't even know simple ABC, elementary, third down logic in order to make the right play at third down conversion. That don't fall on Dak Prescott. And we all know Mike McCarthy was horrible, especially last season, at getting it done with his play calling. All right, he was pulling what's it called? Dan, I forget that guy's name for the Lions. He was pulling his type of plays. Dan, what's his name? Dan something, I forgot his name. But anyways, he was making those type of decisions. Now he wasn't as quiet as boneheaded at what he did, but Mike McCarthy was doing those stupid plays. The only thing that I give you, Ted, that in terms of Dak this year, in which he played horrible against the 49ers. Okay, Fred Warner, who is one of the top paying linebackers in the league or whatever, he had Dak's number. I'll give you that. The 49er defense, they pretty much they destroyed the Cowboys, and as well as Dak Prescott. That's the only thing that I could give you. In terms of you saying that Dak can't get it done, you have 3 offensive linemen that are consistently hurt. You can't you're in the off season with these guys. You're working out, you're training with some of these guys and your starters, and then you have to rely on a second stringer. And then you got people that are constantly hurt or whatever on your squad. Dak is trying to play with second stringers, and then on top of that, you got a running game you can't rely on. Why? Because Pollard was hurt, and he hadn't been the same since that injury. That's why they were in the market looking for another running back. So you're sitting up here saying that Dak can't get it done, Dak can't get it done, Dak can't get it done. A 105.9 QB rating can get it done. It's the defense that failed to show up against Green Bay. You said NBA's new TV deal worth 76 million cap is exploring. Who will be the first to get 100 million? I don't know, but salute to you, Gunners. But yeah, we talking NFL. You said the Cowboys needed Derrick Henry, and that's what I'm saying. They should have listen. The minute that Derrick Henry had came available, they should have snagged him. He was already working. He was already working out with them. They had 3 running backs on the table. They had Aaron Jones, they had Saquon Barkley, and they had Derrick Henry. Now you pretty much done messed up. Now you got to thank God that it wasn't in your division, but you still got Saquon and you got Jalen Hurts to deal with. Okay, so I'm sticking with that. You might have your own opinion, though, Ted. You know what I'm saying? I respect it, but I feel like Dak shouldn't get the blame, not for this season. Now, you probably could have said that like last season, to a certain degree, but this season, no. I'm not gonna give that blame on Dak. Um, Now, and that leads me to my next guy, okay, who I think should be in priority to go ahead and you pay him, okay. Now, Micah Parsons, okay. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hell for this. I understand that CeeDee Lamb, he got the record, okay. I wouldn't be mad if CeeDee Lamb hey got the money or whatever, because he's looking at Justin Jefferson, who just got paid, who got 35 million. He's like, wait a minute, Justin Jefferson signed the biggest contract in NFL history with 110 million. Okay, I get that, all right. And I would not be mad if CeeDee Lamb was second over Michael Parsons, but I'm putting Michael Parsons there, and I'm gonna explain my reasons why. Michael Parsons had to work extra hard this season, and still was able to uphold that defense up until they ran up against the Green Bay and Jordan Love or whatever, which the the defense, they looked pretty much gassed. They were fatigued because they ran out of gas, and they were doing so well this season. They were still a top defense with the likes of Michael Parsons. Van Der Ish could not stay healthy. Diggs was out for the season or whatever. They were still able to maintain, and Michael Parsons was still leading that charge. And on top of that, this is another thing too, all right? And Brown Sugar, I don't know if you agree with me on this, but and you either, Ted. Now, as far as the face of the franchise, and a lot of people gonna give me hell for this, Michael Parsons is emerging as the face of the franchise. Let me repeat myself, okay? Let me repeat myself. Michael Parsons is premiering and emerging as the face of the franchise. Let me let you know why. I've always said this. They don't need to build around Dak, okay? What they need to do is build around Michael Parsons, because who do you have on deep? You got a Pro Bowler in Diggs that you can rely on, and you have a linebacker. So that's your secondary, and that's part of your front seven right there. And if you have that intact, and Jerry Jones been talking to the little stupid shit that he's been saying, talking about he wants it to be built around Michael Parsons, then go ahead. Then make him your priority. Then you can do what what they did around Ray Lewis, and that Ed Reed era with the Ravens. You could do what you did. You could do sort of similar to what was going on in New York when you had Strahan and everybody there for that year that they had. You could do what you did. You could do what the 49ers did or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Having Warner and coupled with a good backfield, and you can also do with what Kansas City did this year, because let's just call it what it is. The offense for Kansas City was not good at all. Only thing that kept them in there the entire season was a good defense, because you could go look at the stats from Mahomes. He played horrible throughout the whole entire season up until leading the team in the clutch situation with Kansas City. But besides that, it was all the defense. So that's why I'm saying you go ahead and you pay him, you get him that damn near that Nick Bosa money. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't realize this. There was that year when Michael Parsons wasn't running to get that defensive player of the year. He actually could have got it, that defensive MVP. Man, Michael Parsons could have gotten it over Bosa. That's how good he was playing. What's up with it, Jelly Bean? I see you in here, man. Last trade was dumb. Yeah, I already said that. You said Cowboys need to search for a new quarterback. That would not take them any further uh, than he already done. That's cap, Gunners, boss. That's cap. If listen, if 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 Jelly Bean, okay, if Jelly Bean is consistently hurt, if if uh if Ted is consistently hurt, if Brown Sugar is consistently hurt, all right, and you guys are protecting me, okay, I'm talking about y'all on my offensive line, and I practice with y'all. I practice with y'all months out of the year, and then next thing you know, we got okay, y'all get hurt. Let's say that second game, and now we got 15 more games to go. It's like, damn, I can't depend on y'all. And you consistently hurt. And that's what happened in the Dak. You look at, oh, Dak can't get it done. Dak can't get it done. Of course he's going to take all the blame. But I'm not getting rid of a quarterback who throws very little interceptions, who has a 105.9 QBR rating. And 2016, hell, he had a 104. He had a 104.9. One time he was up at 110. So hell no, I'm not getting rid of Dak. And then you got an all-pro corner that's hurt. You got Vander Ish that just retired for linebacker, at linebacker or whatever. He could never stay healthy or whatever, because a big part of it does rely on the defense too. And then you sit up here, y'all sit up here, you'll say, oh, well, get rid of Dak, get rid of Dak. Go look at the film, man. There have been plenty of times where this ball is going through their hands or they're dropping balls. And don't forget, CeeDee Lamb, he was at one point, he was up in the league. I think he was like third. At one point in his career, he was second or third for most drops. Now, he's improved a lot. CeeDee Lamb has done his thing, and I'm getting ready to talk about him in just a second. But you pay Micah Parsons or whatever, getting back to that. But no, you don't get rid of Dak, though, man. Not at all. That's silly that you would say that. If you get rid of Dak, then you're going to have to start over. Okay? Y'all came up short. Y'all should have lost the way you lost against Green Bay. I get that. But you come back a little bit stronger, because whether you like it or not, the Cowboys, man, just they're looking at them, they are a Super Bowl team, man. They just need a solid running game. And to me, I don't think going back. Why would you go back and you sign Ezekiel Elliott? And listen, I used to like Ezekiel Elliott, man. Eat them yardage, man. I used to like him, man. But not at this stage of his career, no. I don't care what the numbers say. I watch him play, and he cannot get it done. Cowboys need to start over. Okay, so you start over. Okay. Do you know how long that process is going to take? You're saying if you really looked at the film, a lot of this was not Dak's fault. If you go by the numbers and you look at the film, he wasn't throwing interceptions and getting sacked consistently. The only time that you could say that is when he played against the 49ers. Other than that, go look at Mahomes and go look at Dak and the way that they played throughout the whole entire season. Then you'll have a different outlook. Now you're wanting to start over. Why would you do that? If you start over, you pretty much, they're probably going to end up getting rid of the coach, okay? Because Mike McCarthy is going to have to adapt to another quarterback. That's going to take time. You're looking at probably a good 5-7 years. Y'all are closer than what you think. Everybody's mentioning this conference final, stuff like that. Listen, Dak is going to lead them. Pay Dak that money. Get Micah Parsons that money, right? And then, okay, CD Lamb. All right, let's get to CD Lamb. CD Lamb broke Michael Irvin's record. You know what I'm saying? Broke his record, man. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations to him. He had a solid season. I think he had 3,500 yards. 3,500 yards. Um, and then this is another thing, Brown Sugar, Gunner's Boss, Jelly Bean, Ted, everybody that's up in here. This is another thing that I have to tell you about Dak. Who do y'all think threw the most touchdown catches this season? Touchdown passes this season. Lamar Jackson only threw for 20 something. Josh Allen, I think he had like 30, 33. Or Mahomes had like 34. Jared Goff had like 30 something. Matthew Stafford only had like 30, like in the low 30s. Dak Prescott had the most touchdown passes out of all of the top 5 quarterbacks. He had 39. Okay, so I mean, y'all sitting up in here saying, get rid of Dak, get rid of Dak, get rid of Dak. The problem isn't that. If you don't have a good running game and you don't have a reliable running game, but all you can do is do everything in the air, it's not going to work. You got to have some sort of balance because you got to have that running back that can move the chain in order to eat up yardage, and also when you need to kill clock too, Brown Sugar. You said start over? Yeah, you crazy for saying that. You starting over? That's gonna be another 7 years. You really think? Let's just call it what it is, all right? And I don't mean to offend nobody, all right, Brown Sugar. I don't mean to offend nobody either, Ted, when I say this, right? But you mean to tell me that you banking on the fact that Jerry is still gonna be here? Jerry's still gonna be here in 7 years? Because that's how long it's going to take. You're going to have to start over. You're talking about starting over with a whole nother quarterback. The receiver got to know his quarter. That's going to take like a good season or two. They're not going to just instantly click like that. Then on top of that, you got to adapt to a whole nother philosophy if they bring somebody else in. Because don't forget that Prescott done played for 2 different coaches, and he's had 2 different coordinators too. Okay, Trey Lance is, and I like Trey Lance, but Trey Lance is not going to be the end all be all, because Trey Lance is a whole entirely different type of quarterback than what Dak Prescott is. Whole different. And right now, if I'm Trey Lance, I would be trying to get up out of Dallas. I'm just being real. I want Trey Lance to go somewhere else where he can have an opportunity to play, because you being up under Dak, I think is really unfair. You said we say the same thing every year. I'm tired of excuses. I want him gone. But why though? You haven't given me a legitimate reason as to why. Like if you told me, okay, yeah, he throws interceptions at the wrong time, or he don't know how to get himself out of trouble, or he's missing reads, or he doesn't know how to communicate with his receivers properly, or he doesn't hit that tight end consistently like he is. Okay, then yeah, I understand. Don't forget either. I'm gonna hit you with another notion too. There were times when Dak Prescott, I could kind of tell that he chose to do something else and go against the grain what Mike McCarthy was doing, especially when it came to um, you know going beyond third, third on that third down, and making those decisions and stuff. It was Dak Prescott. He is more cerebral than Mike McCarthy. If you're gonna sit there and you're gonna say that Dak Prescott he needs to go, you should be saying that about Mike McCarthy because he's the one that was trying to orchestrate. And then of course you had Kellen Moore at one time there, and he's gone and everything. But uh, I want him gone because he can't get it done. That's my reason. That's it. That's all. But I mean, you gotta get in the detail with it. Dak ha- Dak has to earn his money. Keep getting the same result. Not gonna cut it. Going to the playoff, I need to see more than the playoff. Me and Brown Sugar can go to the playoff. Oh my God, man! You see how he, Steven? We talking about the Cowboys, not yeah. Hey, he's like, hey, that's an invite. You know what I'm saying? Hey, wink, wink. You gonna come to the game with me? You know what I'm saying? No, you should have just said that in the beginning. You see how he eased his way in there? He's like, yeah, me and Brown Sugar, we gonna go to the game. Come on, man. But no, man. Listen, Dak, it's not all Dak's fault. Uh, y'all got to be looking at the defense too. I mean, some of the defense too. Michael Parsons messed up a lot. C.D. Lamb, he messed up quite a bit too. And then on top of that, it's your offensive line and your play calling too. And you don't have a reliable running game either. So I can't give y'all that one, but we'll see what happens. But paying C.D. Lamb, uh, making him the next priority, third I should say. You go ahead and you pay C.D. Lamb. I wouldn't be mad if they put C.D. Lamb, even if they put C.D. Lamb first and they put Dak second, and then they put Micah Parsons third, or they mixed it up. I couldn't even be mad because all three of them held it down. All three of them were there every single game. I think Dak might have missed a game or two. Um, I think C.D. Lamb missed the game. I don't think no. He played all the games. He played every game this season. But that's how I would do it. I'm paying Dak his money because he definitely deserves it. That game against Green Bay, that wasn't his fault. That didn't fall. That was a collective effort, man. I would start Cool Rush. I don't have to get into detail. That's my reason. Well, I mean, if but until then, it's not going to be a legitimate reason if you're saying okay, he just can't get it done. I could sit there and say, oh yeah, well, such and such ain't get it done, but I gotta know a reason. I mean, you could even tell me because he light skinned. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta know a reason. It's a reason why I got CD Lamb third, right? I got CD Lamb third, for the simple fact that there was some drops that he could have that he could have completed or whatever. And then if we're talking about in terms of more weight on their shoulders, I put Michael Parsons second. You know what I'm saying? Because Michael Parsons had to pick up the slack for the defense. And the reason why I'm paying Dak number one is because he was having to deal with the crappy offensive line that really couldn't stay healthy. And then on top of that, he didn't have no reliant running game. And then there was some suspect play calling that he's been having to deal with Mike McCarthy. And on top of that, to couple with the fact that he's 104, 105.9. with the QBR, and on top of that, he threw for 39 touchdown passes and had the highest one of the highest completion percentage in the league at 69.4. So those are my reasons. I'm not, but I'm not going to sit up there and say, "Oh, he was trash. He was trash." Now, what I'm going to tell you is that the reason why I can say that Mahomes did play horrible throughout the regular season is because he threw a lot of interceptions throughout the whole entire season. His QBR was horrible. At one point, it was like in the 60s. Okay, and not to mention, he was getting sacked a lot too. The Kansas City Chiefs were horrible on offense, especially during the regular season, and it also showed in the playoffs. That's why Travis Kelce was up in there getting frustrated. He about to fight Andy Reid. Wilts, what up with it, man? How you feeling, bro? What you going to say, Paulo? When well, I'm not. Listen, I'm gonna sit back and watch. But like I said, Stephen, you can't blame it all on one person. I just told you my reasons, so stop asking. Oh wow. Well, listen, it's no need to get agitated. I know that y'all didn't you didn't get the results that you didn't want to get, but it didn't fall on Dak. And I have to keep asking if you're not giving me listen, if you're saying, oh, he didn't get it done, he didn't get it done, because that's everybody's answer when I ask them about Dak, but they can't give me a specific reasoning as to why you want him gone. The only thing you say is he can't get it done. He can't get it done. This man broke his daggone leg, bro. So I mean, look, man. If you don't like the way he look, or if it's like has to do with off the field stuff, you know what I'm saying? Who the guy date or something like that, or whether you think the guy is this or that or something like that. That's not a legitimate reason. I'm talking about what he do on the field. Who he taking to dinner, you know what I'm saying? That whole situation that he had going on, off the field and stuff like that. No, I want to know on the field. He chokes in the clutch. When did he choke? When did he choke in the clutch? The only time, because he showed. The only time I could say he really choked in the clutch, I would say against, probably against the Lions. But if we're gonna go there, you also got to look at the play calling too, man. It all goes down to play calling too. One day, when I get everything together, man, I'm gonna go and we're gonna actually do a film study as to showing you that this all doesn't really fall on Dak, because Ted, if you're a receiver, you have to understand this, right? If you're a receiver and I throw the ball to you and you drop that ball, you get the blame. Now, if it's too low to the ground, or I damn near ground ball it or something like that, then okay, that can be argued. But if it's going through your hands and stuff like that, and a lot of that was taking place, but Dak actually had I mean, you're talking about a top 10 quarterback. Everybody up in here talking about like he this and he that. Nah, man, I'm. Versus my package. Yeah, I mean, look, no, now that to me, That fell on the defense. The defense was gas. That don't forget that they were the ones pretty much they were killing the defense. I told you he's not a leader, and under pressure he said he is a leader. How's he not a leader? How's he not a leader? He's a leader on offense. You're talking about a guy that didn't have no running game. A guy that didn't he didn't even have he didn't at one point he couldn't even rely on CeeDee Lamb as a receiver. It's just, CeeDee Lamb just now started to get his shit together. And then under pressure, I mean, listen, bro. That was collective. But nah, Dak is a leader. Come on now, Sugar. Come on now. He can't get it done. Okay, all right. You know what? Hey, listen. I'm going to make this. I want y'all to, all right, I got to go. But check this out. And I ain't running away from no smoke either, Brown Sugar, all right? I'm going to make a bet with you. I guarantee you, if the Cowboys have a bad season, it won't be because of Dak. It will be because of some other circumstances. But it won't be because of Dak. I can guarantee you that. And I also, don't quote me on this yet, but I'm going to go back and I'm going to go think about this, right? I can guarantee you that the Cowboys are going to have a much better season if if that trio gets paid. They will damn near be into the they'll be into the conference. I know I've been off. I know I was off on my finals prediction, but I could feel it, man. I could feel it. I could feel like the Cowboys are actually itching for something, especially if them three get paid. What y'all think? No confidence in Dak. If Cowboys win the Super Bowl, Dak is elite. Hold on, I know you ain't talking. I can't court and maybe. Hey, Mayfield got his money though. I'm proud of him. But listen, man, I gotta go. I'm gonna get at y'all later, okay? We'll chop it up later.